Hey there, it's April with another Microburst podcast here at Learn, Do, Become Radio. These are short, 10 to 15 minute podcasts to help you dive into some task or job and have some company and encouragement along the way. Today we're talking about giving ourselves the gift of being present. Now, until I built my Command Central, which is my system that helps organize all my papers and tasks and goals and routines and things like that, I didn't really know what it meant to be present, and I wanted to share a couple of examples. So in high school, I had an early morning class focused on spiritual and religious education. All the high school students in our area attended. And the teachers were volunteers, and it wasn't hard to, pass the class. So I often use that time to plan out my day with my Franklin planner. I got my first one when I was 13, and I just loved my planner. So I would go through my planner, I would think over my homework, and I would rewrite my long list from the day before, everything I hadn't accomplished. And part of me would be listening to the class and participating in the discussion, but a good part of my brain was stuck in my planner. And at the end of the semester, a little report card was sent home to my parents, and my teacher kindly asked if I could please put my planner away and actually show up for the class. He said it really nicely, but I remember as I read it, I thought, oh man. And I could tell I'd totally been ignoring him. Here he's preparing lessons and doing his best, and I'm just over there in my planner. Another story is when Eric and I first started our family. I wanted to be one of those mothers who lived in the moment and felt joy and peace every day. But my brain would not shut down, ever. I was constantly thinking about what I needed to buy or clean or do, and taking care of our children felt like this endless list of tasks with, of course, some smiles and precious moments thrown in, but mostly I was stressed. Probably my default was an 8 out of 10 on the stress level, consistently. But once I built my STEP Command Central and gave all the details of life a place, like a landing place, something amazing happened. I started playing with our children. I actually started slowing down and snuggling with Eric on the couch when he got home from work. And I started noticing the beauty and joy and opportunity around me. It was like my brain could finally just be. So I had 2 experiences this week that reminded me how grateful I am for the ability, or maybe skill we'd call it, to be present. So Spencer started 10th grade this week. He's our last child still at home. And we have this tradition of getting ice cream on the first and last day from a local creamery. So this year, the first day of school was a little hectic, and I had several meetings and tasks that needed to be done while he was at school. And then we had 3 hours of errands in the afternoon. It was just kind of a lot going on. But because the ice cream was a must, we scheduled it into our errands, and we went to the creamery to get his favorite double scoop in a waffle cone. And we sat down on a warm park bench so he could eat his treat and tell me about his day. Now, the old April would have been checking her phone, telling him to hurry up, thinking about all the errands that still needed to be managed, etc. But this April sat down and listened and shared a little of his ice cream and just talked with her son, who is now way taller than she is. Do you like how I'm talking about myself in the third person? Okay, so that was the first story. Now, the other night, here's story number 2. Eric mentioned that the wind was really strong and was probably going to knock several of our almost ready peaches off of the peach tree in our backyard. So he said he'd go out and pick as many as he could before bedtime. And I asked if he wanted me to come with him, and I suggested we put on our little headlamp flashlights and we could pick the peaches quickly together before it got too late. So I was laughing as we walked out the back door. We had our matching headlamps. We're like, hey, Spencer, we'll be back soon. But as we picked peaches together and we filled several grocery sacks and we commented on how many peaches had grown on our tree that year, and we kept holding one up and saying, look at this one, look how pretty this one is. And I just thought, I don't know how I could be any happier. It was just this moment, just picking peaches on a tree. And I love projects and tasks, and I do get a little giddy when I see my emails at 0, and I like to make my bed each morning and check off lists and go to bed with everything tidy. That's kind of who I am, and I like it. But what I love more is Eric and our children and our family, friends, and loved ones. So yes, my Command Central has helped me to get a whole lot done, but the biggest gift is that I can actually be where I am. And I can feel the joy that comes when you get to spend time with people you love. So really that is the main thing I want for you. And if you're not there yet, that's okay, but I hope you're working toward it. It wasn't wrong of me to be distracted in my early years. I mean, my brain was trying hard to succeed, and I was doing the best that I could, just like you're doing the best that you can right now, wherever you are. But I'm so glad I learned how to change that. And I just want you to know that you can too. So really, if you think about it, the way you know if your system is optimized is when you are around the people you love. Are you focused on them? And are you relaxed? And are you naturally enjoying the experience, or at least able to pay attention to the experience? Sometimes you have to be like disciplining children or dealing with something that's not really fun. But are you able to be fully present? And if the answer is yes, then I would say, okay, then your system is most likely very optimized. If the answer is no, my brain is always spinning, then I'd say you probably need a command central, or at least you need to optimize your command central, because it should be doing that job for you so your brain can rest. All right, that's the podcast for today. I am going to play another little snippet. I started last time playing a little snippet of we asked our 4 weeks to finish session 2 members, what would you tell someone who's maybe coming next? Someone who's thinking about joining 4 weeks to finish, someone who really wants to get organized but maybe feels a little overwhelmed. Like, what would you say to them? What's your advice? And the advice is so beautiful. So whether you're joining 4 weeks to finish or not, I think that you're going to get a lot of value out of just hearing the energy and the beautiful excitement and progress from our past members. If you do want to join 4 weeks to finished, it's at learndobecome.com/4 weeks, the number 4, WEEKS, and you can find out more information there. But we're so happy for you. We start September 1st for this session, or if you're listening to this podcast way in the future, just go check the website and it'll tell you when the next one is. All right, sending so much love. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy this beautiful message from one of your peers here at Learn, Do, Become. Okay, Becky, I think we've got you next. You want to unmute?
Yes. Hi. I also have so much gratitude and just acknowledgement to myself for listening to my own impulses. And something back in May just was like, you have to do this now. And everything came together for me where I didn't have so many projects at work. I had the space to do it, and I really committed to implementing the command central. And I not only did it at home, I did it at work. Little did I know back in May that after 2 months of Texas drought, I would be having major foundation work. And it's actually going on as we speak.
Okay.
And in the last week, I have had to move furniture, move every single item out of 3 rooms in the front of my house. We put plastic up everywhere. They had to jackhammer in this morning in my house. And my boyfriend was laughing because he was like, I saw your house and it looked so good. I cleaned out my entire home office and organized everything. And my son was moving. So it's just incredible, the timing and how I listened to my intuition that this was important for me to do. And it has allowed me to navigate this whole situation over the last month with, getting the quotes and getting an engineer out there. And I'm going to post later in the Facebook group. I have plastic over my command central, but it's all there.
Good.
And I also told my boyfriend, I'm like, if I hadn't done that, this would have been so stressful. But I know where everything is, and I'm, it just kept me on the path. And so I'm just incredibly grateful.
I am so proud of you. I'm really sorry about the foundation work you have to have done. But I love that okay, it's a temporary thing. We're going to cover this, move this, clean it out. And then when it's time to put it all back, you can do it because you can.
And other things got deferred, and, I'm not stressed about it,
I love that. And that's one of the things where I know that there is definitely a huge benefit to occasionally, or, sometimes having somebody come in to organize for you. There's a lot of great professional organizers who know the right baskets or know the right whatever, make the room look awesome. But knowing that you can do it yourself and knowing that you can get things organized and you can clean them out, microbursts, it's going to take some time or whatever. that confidence. I can just see it in your face where you're like, well, I know what I can do. Like now I have this confidence and this belief in myself.
Yes.
So,
and I had, listened to your stuff, and I had bits and pieces, but this brought it all together. And my recommendation to people is just make it a priority and make the time to do it. And just keep going, because it's so worth it when unexpected things happen.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. Well, and I do have one more question. What did you find helped you at work? Do you mind sharing like what you do or how?
I was using my calendar, and I was spending so much time. Like I had everything I was doing was sort of like on my Outlook calendar, and I resisted using tasks, and I moved everything into the tasks, and there's categories, and I sort of equated them to, waiting and deferred and things like that I translated into your system. So I cleared my calendar a lot because I had way too much, and it was stressing me out every week. And then I had to move everything forward every week, and it took way too much time. And I knew that. So I took a lot of personal stuff off my work calendar. I only put, like, if I have an appointment that runs into my work time that I might be out of the office, that's the only personal stuff I put on there anymore, because I know I have my personal calendar also, in integrity. So it's been great. It's just been, really good. It's not perfect, but I have made so much progress. So yeah.
I can feel that from you. Oh, thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for your encouragement. And I think it's also so helpful because if someone is listening to this, whether they're here in our group or maybe, thinking about coming in, when they feel like, well, how can I possibly invest in coaching for myself if I can't predict all the things that are going to end up happening to me? And that's a valid question. And you just think like, I have, maybe family or people in my life or a job that's a little crazy, or, like I don't have the ability to predict the future. So how can I ever carve out time? But what you're sharing is by you noticing, like you knew some of these things need to be adjusted because it was just causing too much stress. You're like, I feel like too much stress in my daily life. I don't have to. But by you investing in yourself and then learning how to make these changes, now you're alleviating the pressure and you're like investing in your future self, right? Like, whatever self is going to have to go through something hard, you've now taken care of her in advance, and I think that's a beautiful thing because a lot of times, anyone who is, what I notice is the people who come here to learn to become have amazing hearts. They care about the people in their lives. They care about living with purpose. They want to be a contributor. And when you find someone who's like that, oftentimes our challenge is that we put ourselves, last, we take care of everyone else first because we care so much. But then seeing like, okay, no, it's my turn and I'm going to do this.
Well, and I had not purchased the program before. I was one of those people that was just, this is it, so it's a lot of money. Yeah. But it's worth it. I sometimes you think, am I really going to get that much out of this? I've done other, time management things. And, but I think there was so many nuggets that really helped streamline things for me. It was well worth it. And I'm excited to keep going and keep hearing what you guys are doing,
Well, and that's what I love about this. It feels so happy because this isn't a goodbye. We're all just going to keep hanging out together and keep, moving forward. So it's awesome.
Right.
Well, thank you.
Unless you don't want to hang out with us. We won't make you.
Yeah, we won't make you. But thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, wasn't that awesome? Thank you so much for being here with us. I'm going to close up now, but thank you and have an amazing day. See you soon.